What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sota Pod YouTube channel for yet another Minnesota Wild watch party, ladies and gentlemen. And this one for me is exciting because this one features the Vancouver Canucks. That is right. Vancouver visits Minnesota here. Vancouver visits St. Paul here today. And we have a great game up ahead. Now, I guess for an entertainment, as an entertainment point of view, from an entertainment point of view, that's what I meant to say. Do we want to see that absolute barn burner that we saw last time these guys played last year? I don't know if I can handle that tonight. I mean, it's too early. It's too early in the week for that. But this should still be a fun one, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Kevin Lankinen for the Vancouver Canucks, 10-0 to start the season. He has been the replacement for Thatcher Demko to start this season and actually wasn't originally going to sign with the team. He wanted a little bit more money, ended up signing with them, and look at the success that he has had with them thus far. Minnesota on a hell of a run. Best team in the league right now, running the Central Division. And the Vancouver Canucks have not had a good start to their season, but again, injury riddled. So we'll see how they do here in St. Paul tonight. If you're new to the channel, we do live play-by-play commentary, of course, reaction and interaction with all you amazing folks in the live chat here. So don't forget to get your score predictions in and let me know how you can hear me. Obviously, this is a new setup. If you guys are used to being here on the channel, you can see that this is a new setup. But anyways, puck has dropped, ladies and gentlemen. Puck has dropped. We'll get to the play-by-play here, and we'll continue to take your guys' comments. Again, big shout-out to every single one of you joining us here today. 1941 on the clock. What's up, Hockey from Home? I just want a Wild win. I think they'll get one. 1931. Play in the Minnesota zone. Vancouver has it at the blue line. A shot. Oh, and a nice tip off center. Just wide. Wild have it. Bring it up the left side. I really like that trade. I think utilizing a lot of the picks that the Wild have at their disposal, as well as some of the young players who may never make the roster, even though Damon Hunt is really good, to get pieces you're going to roll with moving forward is very, very smart. Just another monitor, Hawk from Home. The Canucks have it. Right side, the defense tries to bring it out against Hronik for the Vancouver Canucks. He's also injured here tonight. Thank you, Andrew. Good job by the Wild breaking it up in their own zone. Puck trickles to center. 6-5. That is your goal prediction. Locking it in. I'm gonna say 5-4. 5-4 Vancouver. 5-4 Vancouver. 5-3. Who's going to win, Andrew? Good job by Kaprizov tipping that back to center. Vancouver recovers. Bluger deflects it in. And that deflects off Merrill. Merrill sends it up center. Springs Kaprizov. Kaprizov right side. Kaprizov waiting for reinforcements. And Eriksson grabs it. It's like Boldy blew a tire away from the play, but a shot from the blue line, and Boldy gets right near the netminder. 3-1 Wild, locking it in. Andrew saying Wild. The Wild regain the puck, goes to center ice, they reset, and they're going to get a change. How do I sound, by the way, guys? I have my mic up pretty loud. It's a different mic. I might change it up next time. Wild have it in deep. Back to Merrill on the blue line. Right side, back to center. Nice passing to Rossi. Back to Merrill. Merrill with a shot. That goes left and wide. I'm doing good, Andrew. How are you doing? You're good at mine? Okay, cool. Vancouver couldn't have a clean entry into the Wild zone. Wild have it. They bring it over the zone. Johansson shot at center. The nice save by Lankinen. Good job of the Wild getting it back to center ice. Spurgeon, nice cross ice pass. Rink wide to Hartman, who relays it in, and they're going to get a change. Canucks They fire it in. Faber gets it back, tries to send it around the boards, but Vancouver break it up. Huzdinov, though, back in the lineup, by the way. Breaks up that play from Vancouver, sends it up center. Can't keep it. Puck bouncing around. Ends up hitting the netminder for Minnesota. Goes back up right, and here comes a breakout for Minnesota. Huzdinov comes out. Huzdinov avoided a check there, but fanned on the puck coming through center. Now Connor Garland for the Canucks coming in the right side. Chisholm breaks up the play from Joshua. By the way, big shout to Dakota Joshua coming back into the lineup. Testicular cancer in the offseason. They found a tumor. Found it early enough where they were able to remove it, get the surgery, and he's recently back in the lineup. You're doing good. You're sick. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, rest up tomorrow, Andrew. Rest up tomorrow. Puck in Vancouver zone. Myers skating after it. Eriksson Ek breaks off the puck. Boldy sends it back in, and Lankinen's going to cover it. We're going to have a face-off 5 minutes into this first period. I heard Hockey from Home. The Vancouver Canucks just no luck. I mean, I'm indifferent Hockey from Home. I don't really like sweets. The mic is good? Okay, good. There was a little bit of buzzing, but okay. If we're good, then we're good. Draw to the right of Lankinen. Still waiting the face off here. I'll get the banners up here, guys. Give me 1 sec. I'm not sure what happened to them. And Vancouver, they don't win the faceoff here. They lose the puck, and nice defense as Lankinen didn't have to cover it, but a nice pass up the ice. And Sherwood, 1-on-2, able to keep the puck, finding a man there who skated behind him. But the Wild eventually break that up and force that puck back to center, and the Wild have it. Freddie Gaudreau, Lord and Savior, a beautiful shot out center. It's going to be a rebound there. Vancouver gets it back. Vancouver dumps it in. See you later, Andrew. And again, Vancouver can't get anything going in the Wild zone, and that puck's going to go back down the length of the ice. Vancouver now forced to break out, and they do here through the neutral zone. Nothing cleanly, though. Just tip that puck in, and the Wild are on it. Wild behind the net, chasing after it left side. Merrill pushes it up center. Rossi has it. Rossi through center. Rossi finds the right side. Bogosian, Rossi, beautiful redirect from center and a nice save by Lankinen. Johansson holds the line. Love to see Johansson elevated minutes here. Johansson, Rossi, Hartman. I like it. With Gaudreau getting a few looks with them at the end of his shift. Anyways, 13:59 on the clock. Wild breakout. Tip through center. They get over the blue line. Huzdinov fighting at the right side, and he does keep the puck in. Quinn Hughes tries to backhand that out of his zone, but good job by the Wild keeping that in left side, and Shore ends up losing that, and Vancouver ends up with it, sends it the length of the ice. Middleton back with it at the corner. Middleton still with it. Middleton being chased down, backhand back to center. 13:23 seconds on the clock. That pass from Bogosian to Rossi was perfect. 13:23, and we're going to get our first TV timeout, ladies and gentlemen. Again, keep the comments coming. Let me know your takeaways, as always, throughout the game, throughout the periods, but after the periods as well. We will be bringing on our friend and your Seth Topol of Locked On Wild during intermission to talk about every single period, or at least the first two periods. I know, a little bit of a different setup here. I was rushed to start this. New computer, new setup, new place. I should have had Bertuzzi and Kaprizov bobbleheads up, but alas. Maybe I'll bring them out and show them off to Seth at during one of the intermissions. Let me know in the live chat. So should I feature Bertuzzi and Kaprizov somewhere? Yeah, my old one. Well, it's not a new computer; it's a used computer, but it's a lot newer and better, and it was a good deal than my old desktop. Rest in peace. Oh man, I think someone deleted. So what I'm doing right here on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, is looking for these banners. I think someone might have deleted them. Oh well. Nothing hockey from home. That's not the computer I used for streaming. All right, back from commercial break. I mean, I think I made a tweet about this, and as always, follow me on Twitter at VI Sports Talk. I made a tweet about this, like the Minnesota Wild, though they're missing Zuccarello, though Brodin is out, though Brodin is day-to-day, Zuccarello being out for a while, not ideal, obviously. But the Wild so far have been able to adjust and play well despite injury, and they pretty much force other teams to play their game. And if you can play their game better than them, you will win. And even already here, forcing the Vancouver Canucks to dump and chase, and if they can't win the battles in deep, which the Wild are so good defensively and so good in their own zone, getting the puck back, and even getting some takeaways in the neutral zone, if you can't beat them in that game, Kaprizov will outscore you single-handedly. No hockey from home. I got a different computer. I never used my Mac to stream hockey from home. And the Canucks get it back. Canucks send the puck up the right side. And the Wild get that puck back. Oh, tripped up. Was Chisholm there in the corner. But he keeps the puck. Keeps the puck and gets it back to Kaprizov. Kaprizov has it. Kaprizov tries to spring someone at center. And that puck's going to bounce right to Lankinen. The Vancouver Canucks have it. Teddy Bluger, former Mankato player, sends it to Höglander, and Höglander's going to have a shot on Gustafsson. Vancouver's first shot a second shot on goal this period thus far. 6 shots to 1 for the Minnesota Wild. Nice hockey from home. Thank you. I appreciate that. 12:23 on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Smash that like button, subscribe. We'll get the rest of the December schedule up, I promise, by the end of the week. We're going to reset here. And John Merrill going to the box for tripping. Jeez, Merrill. That is not good, especially just right off the face-off there. Oh my God, that's bad. Yep. Takes out his man right in the circle. Come on, Merrill, you're better. I mean, maybe you're not better than this, but you've been better than this thus far this season. All right, Canucks on the power play, and they're actually pretty damn good on the power play. Way better than the Wild have been as of late. I know people have been complaining about the Wild's penalty kill. I actually haven't had a problem with the Wild's penalty kill. Their power play I'm more concerned with. Vancouver back to the blue line. Right side, Pettersson back to Hughes. Hughes, top of the right circle, back to Hughes. Pettersson, shot, fires that wide. Rebound to the Minnesota native Brock Besser. Besser, Hughes, Pettersson. Pettersson to Hughes. Hughes back to Pettersson. What a scary power play, guys. Plays to the corner. DeBrusk wasn't able to get it. Besser back to DeBrusk. DeBrusk to Pettersson. Pettersson shot, saved by Gustafsson. And Pettersson back to Hughes. Pettersson Looking for that shot. Pettersson to Hughes. Hughes shot from middle and score. He is the best defenseman in the league. He's the best defenseman in the league, and it's not even close, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear anything about this Makar bullshit anymore. Quinn Hughes is the greatest defenseman in the league right now. It's unbelievable. Holy shit.
Emotional damage.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. Oh, I'm so scared. As a Canadian, I'm so scared for the Olympics, guys. He is single-handedly going to walk through every team at the Olympics in that Team USA jersey. He's the best skater I have ever seen play the game of hockey. And he's the best defenseman in the league right now. And that was his 6th goal of the season, 29th point in 23 games. Bro. Insane. Insane. 11 minutes on the clock. All right, I take back everything I said. I'm just... The Minnesota Wild's PK. I'm sorry. When Quinn Hughes finds his lane and rips one, there's nothing the goalie can do. Whistle in the Wild zone. It's going to come right to Gus Bus. New setup. Yeah. So yeah, on their 4th shot on the power play. Again, Minnesota Wild fans, don't... The sky isn't falling on this one. Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman in the league. The Wild still got this. 10 minutes and 49 seconds. Wild send it length of the ice, trying to keep this puck in the Vancouver zone, and they do, behind the net, fighting for it. 10:40. Yes, Isaiah, I did. Canucks get it back. Tried to send it up the right side, but Middleton is able to control it. Slowly but surely getting the whole house done. Hockey from home. Oh, and a nice shot from the blue line by Vancouver, keeping that one in, and another rebound. That chance goes high and wide. Vancouver still has it left side. Vancouver sends it around, centering pass, and doesn't get through, just goes right in front of Gustafsson. For Minnesota Wild, Carson Soucy, the Tsunami, as coined by my friend Shane, in the lineup here tonight. Yo, what's up, Ronick Plays? What a shot by Hughes, man. What a shot by Hughes. 9 minutes and 41 seconds. Yeah, I had to. Hockey from home. 9 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock. Quinn Hughes with it. Back in his own zone. Travels over center and sends that the length of the ice. Vancouver trying to dump and chase. They dumped. They chasing. Boldy on the forecheck. Puck free to center, and they're fighting for it. So Pettersson and Garland with the assists on Quinn Hughes' power play goal. So that'll be Garland's 14th assist, 22 points. Pettersson, 15th assist, 22nd point. And Pettersson started off the season slow, but has really found his groove here late. Good job by the Minnesota Wild. Eriksson Ek in particular getting that puck back to Kaprizov. Kaprizov with a shot and a nice save by Lankinen. Rebound loose. Kaprizov was looking for it. And that's finally sent down the ice by Pettersson. 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Kaprizov. Left side. Sends it in. Kaprizov going for a change. Freddie Gaudreau, our Lord and Savior, Freddie Gaudreau, on the ice right now. Merrill back on the ice as well. Sends that in deep for Minnesota. Minnesota still has it. Loose slot. Trennan tried to push that in, and Lankinen makes a save. Covers it up here. 8 minutes on the clock. We're going to go to another TV timeout, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go to another TV timeout here. 8 minutes on the clock. The Vancouver Canucks lead 1-0 against the Minnesota Wild here. Early, ladies and gentlemen, scoring on the power play. I think it's Quinn Hughes' first power play goal of the season. 29th point of the season. 6th goal. He leads the team with 29 points. Jake DeBrusk actually finding his groove with the Vancouver Canucks here recently as well. 10 goals as he's leading the team. But the Minnesota Wild lead the league, and Kaprizov, I mean, what a season. What a season he is having as well, ladies and gentlemen. Even without his boy Zuccarello, he just carries the offense for this team. Now, Boldy having a great season as well with 11 goals, 25 points. But Kaprizov is almost at 40 points, ladies and gentlemen. 15 goals, 23 assists, 38 points in 23 games. This is unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. So just what a great matchup here tonight. Canucks with some amazing players, the best defenseman in the league, and it's not even close in Quinn Hughes. Minnesota boy Brock Besser up against this, well, the best team in the league right now, Minnesota. Our PK is so bad still. I don't think the PK is that bad. Is it anything special? No, but I am way more concerned about the power play. Again, Liam Ogren recalled, Wallstedt recalled, but I don't think Wallstedt's going to get any play. Michael Russo was talking about how it's more just him getting some training with the guys up here as well as just cap stuff. But Ogren is the 13th man, or the 13th man right here tonight. I have no idea Hawk from home. Let's see. Yes, he is. Fourth line with Ratti and Heinen. That's actually not a bad fourth line. All right, puck is dropped. 7 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. Seven minutes and 49 seconds. Yeah, definitely can be a lot better. 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Left side shot. And Foligno can't capitalize. Vancouver, nice passing. Up the right side, backhand in deep. Faber, great job by Faber. Winning that battle, I mean, before he even got the puck. Back to Middleton, Faber. Middleton up the left side. Devin Shore trying to keep that puck in, but that's going to deflect out all the way down, back into the Wild zone. Wild with possession, but Merrill having to chase it back down as the Canucks do a good job pressuring here. Bogosian with it up the right side. Try to tip it center, but this fourth line can't really get anything going. Howdy, by the way, this is why I harp in staying out of the box. What's up, Jake, the Minnesota sports fan? Good to see you. 6 minutes and 31 seconds. Bogosian up the right side. I mean, the Wild are trying to change here. They do get that top line out there, and Kaprizov with it. Kaprizov, Merrill. Unable to get anything going up through center. Kaprizov, left side. Kaprizov looking for Boldy. Center loses it. Good job by Quinn Hughes and the Canucks defense reading that play. Quinn Hughes brings it up. Gets it to forward of his, but they lose it. Boldy with it again. Feeds it to Spurgeon. Spurgeon driving wide and a shot their blocker saved by Likinen. They keep it in. Boldy with it behind the net. Tipped. Eriksson Ek couldn't hit the target. Boldy with it. Back to Eriksson Ek. Hands it off to Kaprizov. Kaprizov right side. Kaprizov tried to go cross ice, but that deflects. Chisholm to Kaprizov. Kaprizov tried to set up someone on the right side. Couldn't get the shot off, and that's going to go back to center. And both teams looking to get a change, but the Wild are able to keep this puck in the offensive zone. And Boldy has it. Got his pocket picked. Wild keep this in the zone. Eriksson Ek's still out there. And the Wild again are able to keep that puck in this neutral zone, and Boldy back in the Vancouver zones. Decided not to shoot. Give it to Faber. Faber. Back to Middleton. Boldy, shot, deflected. Middleton. Up to Faber on the left side. Faber sends it in deep. Johansson. Back to Middleton. Back to Faber. Faber to Boldy. Boldy with a shot. And that goes wide. Johansson. Boldy's been out there forever. Boldy with another shot. And Lankinen rebound. Lankinen save. Boldy literally has been out there for like 3.5 minutes. And now Boldy in the Vancouver Canucks. A little brouhaha in front of the net here. Season is good. Hopefully we see him score a good goal. He only has an assist so far with the Canucks. He hasn't gotten a lot of time, has he? Yeah, I just don't eat a lot of sweets, Hockey Room. I just don't eat a lot of sweets. Wow, fun game so far, ladies and gentlemen. The Vancouver Canucks with the quick lead power play goal on the Minnesota Wild. But some good opportunities for the Wild in that last few minutes. They were able to keep the puck in the offensive zone for quite a while. And even when it trickled out into the neutral zone, quick turnaround, I swear Boldy was out there for like 4 minutes. We will get the box score up towards the end of the period. But I mean, man, he played more that shift than the fourth line combined thus far. They're mad this year, but they faced a lot of injuries. Hronik's now going to be out for 8 weeks. JT Miller's out for personal reasons. They didn't start with Demko, although their goaltending has been fine. I mean, Lankinen's 10-0 to start the year, which is insane. They've been okay. Like, their good players are absolutely dominating. Like, Quinn Hughes is the greatest defenseman in the league right now. 29 points, 6 goals on the season thus far in 23 games. Besser playing well, 14 points in 16 games. Jake DeBrusk, 10 goals. Pettersson had a slow start, but he's starting to play well now. 21 points in 23 games. They're playing pretty good. But like Dakota Joshua was out early due to getting a tumor removed. Early detection of testicular cancer this offseason, and was able to get surgery and come back. I think he's only played 4 or 5 games. So there's just a lot going on. But I think the Canucks, like later this season, once everyone comes back and they kind of get some normalcy for a little bit, they'll be able to go on more of a run. And it's not like they've been a bad team. They just have not been like last year. Yeah, I think so too, Hawk from home. And the Wild win the faceoff in the Vancouver zone, but Vancouver end up getting away with it. Quinn Hughes tries to send it up the left side, but the Wild keep that in the zone. Hartman shot off the pad of Lankinen. The Vancouver Canucks get it back. Oh, nice. That's good. Is he one of your favorite players, Hockey from home? And the Wild get it back. 4 minutes on the clock in this first period. Up to Johansson. Johansson up to Hartman. Hartman tried to feed Rossi in center, and that deflected off of Vancouver Canucks skate. Rossi back behind the net to Hartman. Hartman battling for it. Hughes hit him, and then Hartman sent Hughes to the ground. Rossi with it, trying to get by Hughes. Rossi still with it. Rossi back to Johansson. Johansson with a shot, but that was deflected. Didn't get through. Rossi looking for a center pass, and Myers intercepts, and Myers sends that puck down the zone. Oh, that's pretty good. Bogosian tried to feed Rossi. Tried to feed Huznadinov, doesn't get it. And Bogosian's going to have to go back into his own zone. Bogosian sends it up the wall. Shore blows a tire. Kuznetsov has a Kuznetsov feeds Jones at center, and he was already tied up. Kuznetsov with it. Kuznetsov 2-on-1. Kuznetsov keeps it in the offensive zone. And Vancouver gets it back left side. Fighting for it at center. I don't talk from home. If I lived in Vancouver, I'd go there often, though. Faber has it. Faber in deep. Faber goes for a skate behind the net. Faber 2-on-1. He's going to need some reinforcements. Shore looking to help him out. Eck right behind him, as well as Boldy. Middleton with a shot. Doesn't get through. Kaprizov unable to hold, and it's a 2-on-1. DeBrusque with a shot and a rebound, but a nice save by Gustafsson. And oh my God, what a second save by Gustafsson. What a second save by Gustafsson. DeBrusque almost scored. Minnesota has it 1 minute and 54 seconds. That was crazy. That was crazy. Wild defense have it. They're looking for the breakout. Boldy being tightly checked, sends it back to the defenseman. A little dump and chase here as Minnesota Wild tip it in. Nice to see 22-23 Gus Bus. Dude, he's better than he was in 22-23. He's even better than he was. Teddy Bluger, former Mankato hockey player. Oh, and a shot by Spurgeon, and Susie, the former Minnesota Wild, grabs it for Vancouver. But Minnesota gets possession back, and they're going to try to set up another play here with only 1 minute left. Shots 12-7 in favor for the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota with it. They get a change. Final minute of the first period. Merrill feeds it to the right side. Wild over the blue line. Boldy looking to help Foligno, and damn, Foligno falls to the ground. And Vancouver gets it back. Tips it to center. Hoglander back to the Wild. 40 seconds. John Merrill dumps it in. Freddie Gaudreau back to Bogosian. Bogosian sends it up the boards. Trennan. Merrill with a shot. That tips up. Blocked out front. 22 seconds. Merrill keeps it in. And back to center. Neutral ice. Merrill loses it. Puck's going to go length of the ice, and Bogosian back to claim it with only 10 seconds left. Do the Wild have one more play in them? They're trying. Through center, 2-1, and that is going to do it. End of the first period, ladies and gentlemen. Vancouver leads 1-0. I mean, Jake DeBrusque, dude. Coming off a hat trick in his last game. And he has a great opportunity late. And what a save. A double. 2 saves by Gus Bus. Wow. I'm just writing that down because I want to make sure I talk about that with Seth Topol, our friend and yours, who will be joining us. Seth Topol of Locked On Wild will be joining us, ladies and gentlemen, here shortly to talk about that first period. But I want to hear your takeaways. I think the Wild overall have been playing great defense. I mean, the Wild are playing their game. Vancouver cannot set up in their zone. Only when the Minnesota Wild gave them, and I mean gave them, handed them a power play on a silver platter. Thank you, freaking John Merrill. As I'm talking very close to the mic here, John Merrill. God damn it. Anyways, only then does the opposition, in this case in the Vancouver Canucks, capitalize. And I mean, when it's Quinn Hughes, the best defenseman in the league right now, you can't really be too upset. Like I don't really blame the PK for that one, though. Like they weren't. It didn't look that awful. Now I know it's bad right now, and y'all were giving me that in the stats in the live chat. I get it. It does need to be better, but overall, we just can't give this team any edge, because I mean, just look at that power play too. How dangerous is it? Hey, what's up, Creepy Colors? Good to see you. Only bad thing was the PK. Otherwise, solid performance. I like how the Canucks are winning. That's what I like. Nice go by Quinn Hughes. Always my favorite player, though. There you go. Marco J. Flair is also my favorite player. I'm thinking Hockey from Home has a lot of favorite players. Anyways, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to bring on Seth Topol of Locked On Wild to talk about this first period. If you haven't already, smash that like button and subscribe. We'll get the rest of December's watch party schedule up by the end of the week. I promise, guys. As you can see, just moved. New computer, new setup. Still working out the kinks. You guys said you could hear me. I think we're working. Anyway, Seth Topo, Locked On Wild, to talk about this first period. On the other side, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after this quick break and a quick word from our friends at 9 Mile Brewing.
People like, you're making a hef now? It's like last year, I'm like, yeah, that one's called the 11th hour. It's kind of just a cheeky play on that. We kind of release it later than most people towards the end of the summer. I wanted to kind of be in there in that cusp between summer and fall. And now with summers lasting longer and longer these days, and we're in September and it's 80s, it's still a viable option.
Central Division team that I love to love, the Nashville Predators, of course. And we are back with your friend and mine, Seth Topo of Locked On Wild. Seth, how's it going?
Going pretty good. Not a bad first period for the Minnesota Wild. They did a lot of really good things. Just the penalty and the subsequent power play goal allowed. They've gotten some shots on Kevin Lankinen. It's just another instance where they're just going to have to battle back, but they've done it all season.
Well, and I said this on Twitter. I said for teams to beat the Minnesota Wild this season, they have to play like the Wild. They have to play the Wild's game, but better. And that is, do not allow your opponent to set up in the offensive zone and just be quick to picking their pocket, being quick to beating them when they are trying to dump and chase. Yeah, they've forced a lot of teams to dump, but many teams can't even get to the puck. They can't even chase because the Wild already have it, are already ready with a breakout play. And the Wild overall this year have been doing the better job of winning those neutral zone battles. The Wild out shooting the Vancouver Canucks going into this second period, I would say have had better stretches, have had better and more dangerous offensive opportunities. However, Lankinen playing very good, and the only little bit of rope the Minnesota Wild gave the Vancouver Canucks, which was that power play, John Merrill with a horrendous penalty right off the face-off. I mean, let's hope that he's not going back to his old ways, because he's looked fine this year.
Yeah.
And fine is good for John Merrill. Look, Quinn Hughes is Quinn Hughes. He's the best defenseman in the league. He's the best American hockey player, I think, right now on the planet. And he gets his 6th goal, almost 30th point, 29th point of the season. Look, I'm not going to hamper on the PK too much for that one. Just don't let it happen again, because the Vancouver Canucks PK or power play is that dangerous. And overall, I think the Wild, like you said, have been playing pretty well otherwise, playing their game, which has been working, which is the reason why they're at the top of the league right now. But what are your key takeaways?
And to look at that power play goal allowed, it was a deflected shot from right in front of Philip Gustafsson. So it's not like it was a clean look that the Canucks got or anything like that. It was a deflected puck that finds its way past Philip Gustafsson. Beyond that, the Wild have done a good job of getting into the offensive zone. They've sustained some chances. I think the Kaprizov, Eriksson, Boldy line has looked pretty good so far, with a bunch of chances from them. Matt Boldy letting it rip early and often in this one, which is always a good sign for him.
His 4-minute shift out there.
Yeah, that was
and then getting in the mix in front of the goaltender, right?
Yeah, I can't. I just every time I see Matt Boldy play this year, I just want more of it, because he's doing we're just seeing him right in the middle of just this ascension that we all were hoping we would be able to get, and he's right in line with it. And so I'm every time I see him out on the ice, I'm like, oh, okay, let's keep doing this. Let's get more Boldy going. And defensively, the Wild did a good job of limiting chances, as we expected. They've handled the 5-on-5 play pretty effectively so far. It just came down to one penalty. That's really it. And Gustafsson looks good. He had a nifty second save on the one instance in which the Canucks kind of got sustained zone presence. They got the first shot on Gustafsson in kind of a whip around second effort, but Gustafsson was ready to go for it. So
he's looked great. Great. That DeBrusque second opportunity, my God,
that was
right off the end of the pad. That was crazy. No, Gustafsson's looked great. Gustafsson, I mean, dude, it's absolutely insane how good he's been this year. 92 save percentage, and he's just kept that. I mean, at one point it was 93. Two goals against. Are you kidding me? This is the National Hockey League.
And the other thing too that I'll just point out for this game tonight, Isha, is there's only one other team in the Western Conference that has 10 road wins right now, and it's the Vancouver Canucks. So much like the Minnesota Wild and just knowing what you need to do on the road, Vancouver's done a really good job of that, mainly because Kevin Lankinen has been unreal in road starts.
Dude, the only goaltender I can think of in recent history who's gone on a run like that was the Hamburglar in Ottawa. I want to say 2013, 14. You remember that, where he went on? He was 21-1, got the Senators in the playoffs, signed up a pretty big, not a huge ticket, but a bridge ticket, and then was oh yeah, no, that was just
never the same.
That was just some magic.
Yeah, it's oh, sorry. Turns out that was all that magic was used up in one season. The Wild
has a question, Seth, and I'll let you answer it first before I give my thoughts.
How many goals for Cap tonight? And what do you think of Spurgeon, the first power play unit? I don't mind Jared Spurgeon on the top power play unit. Honestly, I think the defensemen have done a pretty good job of facilitating, no matter if it's Spurgeon, if it's Faber, if it's Declan Chisholm. I think the power play at times just kind of gets a little stale. They don't move around enough. And
teams have figured it out if it's Faber. I mean, they can't figure it. They can't shut them down every time, but that's the tape, and they haven't really changed it much. So yeah, I'm okay with Spurgeon going in there because it gives them at least some new looks that maybe some teams haven't prepared for. Mm-hmm. And I haven't even minded Chisholm there, but you can tell it's just at that point, just put Faber out there, because Chisholm's doing the same things but just not as effective.
Yeah, I like the situation where they have three guys that they can at least, kind of throw in there for a change of pace, as opposed to having maybe the only one guy that you're comfortable using, and the rest just you're well, I guess we're going to try this. It is a unit, obviously, that has had some ebbs and flows over the last few years. The power play had a similar stretch, I think, 2 years ago, of futility like this, and then they finished the season on about a 35% clip in the final couple months of the season. It's just a matter of not standing in one place and just moving the puck around and just finding those openings. It's like the penalty kill. You just go into ruts, and It's all performance based. You can do really, really good things. You can move the puck around and not score a power play goal, and it's still judged the same as a power play that maybe doesn't get any shots on goal. Because if you don't score, it's technically not successful. So it's just a matter of just continuing to try to get those units honed in as the season unfolds. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time to get them honed in because the Wild are still winning games, even though they're not humming, which is a big improvement over what happened last year.
Look, I know Creepy Colors on paper, given how amazing he's been, and 5-on-5, him just throwing pucks to the net, he's able to score. I just don't think he's that good of a facilitator.
Yeah,
those guys were like, in junior, like he was the top guy because and he's that skilled and he can read the game because he's in the National Hockey League, but he's just too big and clunky, in my opinion, to be able to work that blue line.
You gotta be a good skater and you gotta be a good facilitator both as a defenseman to be able to run a power play.
And he's more on like the two-way side than on the facilitator side. But that's not to say that like he lacks any hockey IQ. Like you have to play at a high level and understand the game at a high level to be able to play that well with the likes of a Brock Faber, for example, who's let's just be honest, he's elite.
I honestly, if they put Middleton up there, I'm sure he would do fine. But I don't think the Wild need to dip any lower than Spurgeon, Faber, Chisholm.
This is all he would do, though. He wouldn't even feed the puck. He would just shoot.
Just let it rip from the top.
What's up, Ivan? Is Brazy? Canucks might win. They might. I had, what did I say? I said a 5-4 Canucks victory was my prediction. Which, by the way, said, how do I sound here? I have a new mic.
You sound good. You got
far away. I don't have that like mic arm, so like I've jacked it up. I got a used but new computer here too, and
nice.
It's loud. Listen to this. So I have the fan on quiet mode. Listen to when I rev the engine. Engine. The fans will like this too. Haha. No pun intended. All right, ready for this?
Fire it up.
Bro. What is this? Like a Honda VTEC? Like,
yeah, are you starting a monster truck out in the driveway?
Like, calm down, bro.
That's good. No, I like the.
I don't think it was a demotion. I think it was just different looks.
Yeah, I think because the numbers have been trending downward for a while, I think John Hines is just trying some different things just to see if something sparks it. It's all about a spark.
Yeah, well, well, and Creepy Colors, I get it, and hey, at this point, let's just get different looks. I don't mind Spurgeon there, and I mean, for the most part on a power play, you're trying to distribute it to the guys like Boldy and like Kaprizov. Having said that, though, that's all the Wild have been doing. Maybe they need someone who's just gonna shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I understand why it's not happening. And would I make that decision? Probably not. I would still let the distributor guy do his thing, but I am far from a National Hockey League coach.
I think
is more certified than me.
I think honestly, we're seeing the impact of no Matt Zuccarello on that unit. I think that's the biggest reason that the power play has. Yeah, I think that's the reason that the power play has been performing the way it has, is because Zuccarello is just such a good, like, especially from the side of the zone, he's just such a good, like, ice vision guy. Okay, and not to say, like, you still have obviously plenty of talent in Kaprizov, Boldy, Eriksson Ek, but it just doesn't have that same dynamic to it. So I think that's another big reason as to why the power play's been in a bit of a rut, is that he just brings that elite element to that grouping. And so John Hines just tinkering like he does until he finds a combination that works. And that's the main thing, is you're just trying to find one thing that can spark it, and then you hope that that'll just send it on a run where they maybe score 10 goals in 20 opportunities or something like that.
Gomer, if anybody's going to score, it's going to be Kaprizov. And if Boldy's scoring, he's assisting on it. So you're probably good. All right, yeah. Seth, other than staying disciplined, what, just quickly here, as puck's about to drop, what do the Minnesota Wild have to do to be successful this period?
I think they just got to keep taking the puck to the net on Kevin Lankinen. Like I think if you can get it in close, get it from the face-off circles in, and just keep pushing on him, then the opportunities, if they keep generating, they're going to get one past. It's just a matter of sticking to what they've been doing. The good thing is I don't think they need to really deviate from what they are doing at all. They just need to do like they've done most of the season, is come out in the second, get a response, and start to take the game back in their favor.
Absolutely. Well, Seth, we'll see you during the second intermission. Guys, go check out Locked on Wild. And Seth, you doing a post-game show?
Yes, sir.
Live post-game show, Locked on Wild. Yeah, right now. Go subscribe, Seth. We'll see you after the second period. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
All right, Seth Topo, ladies and gentlemen, of Locked on Wild. He'll be joining us again at the end of the second period for second intermission to talk about, well, all the takeaways, key takeaways from the second period and from the game thus far. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, back live play-by-play commentary, reaction, and, of course, live interaction with all you amazing folks throughout the second period here. The Vancouver Canucks lead right now 1-0. Minnesota Wild still leading in shots 13-7. More hockey, a lot more hockey here on the other side. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live here on the Sota Pod YouTube channel. Period 2 is underway. Goudreau taking the faceoff, and he wins the faceoff back to the blue line. Good to see you, Ron, by the way. Yes, Merrill, stay out of the box. Hey, thank you, Gomer Jackson. It's good to see you guys. Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. 1944 on the clock. Chisholm with it. Back in his own zone. Sends it up the left side. Spurgeon deflects it ahead. And they send it deep into the Vancouver zone, but Vancouver sending it the length of the ice, and we're going to have an icing call. Icing. Yo, what's up, hockey from home? Peace, I'm out, but you're back. You are back. I always forget Jack Capuano is part of this group. Many years with the New York Islanders. No worries, hockey from home. I think we're postponing or pushing Wildly Informed a day or two anyways, because I'm on site for work tomorrow. And the Wild win the faceoff in the Vancouver zone. Faber to Middleton. Middleton sends it around the net. Kaprizov, but picked up by Joshua for the Vancouver Canucks, and we're going to get a whistle here. What's going on? Offside. God, I hate Fanatics. On site. I don't really know how else to describe it. And Kaprizov, oh my goodness. It's not Merrill, it's Kaprizov takes the hooking call, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hook on Joshua, and yep, back pressure, a couple. And you know what? He goes for it 3 times. The first 2, okay, just kind of hits the glove, whatever. But that third one, yeah, that one hooked under. I'm going on site talking from home, like I'm working on the site for my client. I don't really know how else to describe it. For 19:02 on the clock, Quinn Hughes with it. Dangerously entering the zone. Drops it back to Pettersson. Pettersson back to Hughes. Hughes sends it to the right side. Brock Besser back to Pettersson. Pettersson back to Hughes. Hughes shot, and that's going to go wide. Trennan on it. Loose puck, and the Wild pick it up. Eriksson Ek with it. Eriksson Ek shorthanded. Eriksson Ek gets his pocket picked by Hughes. Hughes with it. Hughes right back through the neutral zone. Hughes to Garland, and Garland misses the net. Rebound goes all the way down to the Vancouver zone. Foligno battling for the puck, but he loses it. Vancouver with it. Brock Besser. Minnesota boy up the right side. Garland kind of flopping into the zone. Someone check him. He's impossible to check, dude. Garland back to Hughes. Hughes to Besser. Besser back to Hughes. Hughes to Besser. Besser. Pettersson. Besser shot. Saved by Gustafsson. Look for the rebound, and Gustafsson covers it up. Dude, he's the best skater that I've seen since Dennis Savard, dude. I think he's the best. Like, again, north-south speed. He's not McDavid. I get it, but like everything else, man. Like I said, Dennis Savard, but better. I remember the first time I saw him play for Michigan, dude. I rose from my seat. Like, before he was even drafted by the Canucks, I was just like, this is one of the best skaters I've ever seen. It's truly a pleasure to see him play the game. Except when he's going to be with the Team USA jersey playing against Canada. Oh, it's going to be tough, bro. For me, you're going to be just smiling. 16 seconds on the clock here in the Minnesota Wild. With Brock Besser out there, Freddie Gaudreau. Canucks win the faceoff. Canucks. Tyler Myers back to the blue line. Tyler Myers on that left side. Myers with a shot bumper back to center, and the Wild break that up, and Trennan just sends that puck the length of the ice, and Trennan has it, and the Minnesota Wild have killed off one of two penalties. Peace. I'm out. Thank you, Hog from Home. I did. That was a good story. I'm glad he's back. 5-on-5, and the Minnesota Wild get it into the Vancouver zone. Nice forecheck for the Wild. Canucks have it. Send it up center. Canucks still have it. Höglander gets his pocket picked by Boldy. Boldy then sends it backhand past center, but Carson Soucy knocks it down. Teddy Bluger with it, former Mankato. Maverick. Eriksson Ek with the forecheck. Kaprizov with the behind. Yes, rest in peace, Hog from Home. 16:09 on the clock. Merrill sends it back. And that's going to be icing. It wasn't quite at center. Yeah, this is a big ship. I guess Merrill did think he was over center, but not quite. The NHL Alumni Association is saddened to learn that Larry McIntyre has passed away at the age of 75. The Maple Leafs drafted McIntyre with the 31st overall selection in the 1969 amateur draft. Rest in peace, yes. Yes, rest in peace to Luca as well. All right, face off in the Minnesota zone. Merrill with it. Tries to send it up the left side. Vancouver able to get that puck back, and the Wild weren't able to make the change. Vancouver with the pressure. And Hawk from Home, your favorite player, Sasson on the ice. Sasson with it, but Bogosian checks him. Eriksson Ek takes the puck away from him, and Kaprizov with it. Kaprizov, Boldy at center. Kaprizov trying to get his way through four men in Kaprizov. No reinforcements, but the Wild still have the puck. They lose it at center. Faber, they were still on their change, but were able to not allow the Vancouver Canucks to set up, and the Minnesota Wild Dump and chase back into the Vancouver zone. Hughes gets it back to Pettersson. Faber forcing him to play that puck and send it down the glass, and Besser with it back to the blue line. Shot from the blue line, and Gustafsson slides across the crease to make that save and cover it up. Yeah, it's crazy hockey from home. I hope his family's doing okay. He's not my favorite player, by the way. I guess he is now because you said that. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Wild win the faceoff in their zone. 14-49. Besser with it now. Besser cross ice pass, and that gets tipped away by the Wild, but Pettersson able to get it back and at least send it into the Wild zone. But Middleton with it now. Middleton sends it to Rossi. Rossi relays it in, and former Wild Carson Soucy sends it to his defense partner. Garland with it, and the Wild are going to get a change. 14-15, guys. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get to 20 likes on the stream. Again, Seth Topol of Locked on Wild will be joining us again for second intermission. So if you have any questions for him as well, get him in the live chat. I can bookmark them. I can save them. Man, hockey from home. I should be at this game right now. This is in St. Paul. This game is literally 45-ish minutes, give or take, away from me. 14-10, and the Wild win the faceoff in the Vancouver zone, and Kaprizov with a shot, and that rings off the post. Wild still have it. Boldy in the corner. Kaprizov to the line. Shot. That goes wide. Vancouver trying to get it out, but Minnesota has it. Kaprizov across the board. Try to center, and that deflects off Soucy, controlled by Boldy right now. Boldy centers it. Kaprizov tip. That's going to be a save by Vancouver. Good pressure by the Wild here. Eriksson Ek. Backhand. Tried to center, but Vancouver gets it. And Joshua sidesteps a check, and he's going to send it back into the Wild zone. Good shift by the Wild there. Even better defense by Suter and Dakota Joshua. I don't think Dakota Joshua played his junior hockey in Minnesota, but he played close here. Okay, he played Sioux Falls, USHL, U.S. National Development Team for a bit as well. 13 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Myers back to pick it up as the Wild try to tip it in. Vancouver with it. Vancouver has not been able to have really a clean setup in the offensive zone much at all, other than when they were on a power play. Shot from the blue line, that's going to go up and out of play. Nice hockey from home. Nice, yeah. I can't wait to go to that brewery. It's going to be awesome. You'll go March 7th or April 12th. I think Clay would go then. I think they're in Minnesota one more time. Or maybe that's it. I don't remember. I'd have to check. Minnesota still leading in shots, 14-10, ladies and gentlemen. Minnesota 5 takeaways. Winning in the faceoffs. They've been so good in the faceoffs this year. I mean, I know it's only 52% right now. They've won one more, but overall, it's either 50% or they're just over. And I mean, what was it? I want to say it was against Chicago, or maybe it was against the Blues. I forget what game it was this season, but I mean, they were so bad. It was just they were just off their game face-off wise, and it really was affecting them overall. All right, I got to get another poll question up here. 62% of you guys said that the Wild would score first. Only 37% said the Vancouver Canucks, and the Vancouver Canucks did score first. Guys, smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get to 20 on the stream. Okay, I have a poll question. Do we see overtime? Do we see overtime, yes or no? Oops. Hey, Matt Cullen going into the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame. That's awesome. I've always liked Matt Cullen. All right. And the Wild win the face-off in their own zone, 12:34 on the clock. And Quinn Hughes with it, right side. Quinn Hughes centers it to Pettersson. Pettersson looking for somebody, nobody there. Pettersson back to Hughes. Hughes to Myers. Myers back to Hughes. Hughes being checked by Foligno. Good job by Foligno separating the puck from Hughes, and the Wild now are going to break out. Foligno, 2-on-1, back to Gaudreau. Gaudreau scores. Lord and Savior, Freddie Gaudreau. Lord and Savior, Freddie Gaudreau. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. What would they do without Freddie Gaudreau? What would the Wild do without Freddie Gaudreau? I would tell you, they would not be winning games. They would not be winning games. Freddie Gaudreau with his 5th goal of the season, 14th point, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe it, but I obviously believe it. Freddie Gaudreau is this team's Lord and Savior. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this game is tied. And of course it's Freddie Gaudreau. Of course it's Freddie Gaudreau. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this is why Dino loved him, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Dino loved him. 11:40 on the clock. And a nice drop pass by the Wild. The Wild with a shot. That's blocked. Rossi forechecking. Rossi getting it to Hartman. Hartman trying to get it back to the line, but the good job by Vancouver. Joshua tied up. Johansson actually separates him from the puck, and the Wild lose it, but that goes the length of the ice, and John Merrill with it now. Wow. Crazy stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy stuff here. The tsunami. Carson Soucy in the corner, spins away from Hartman, sends it back up the right side. And Ratu, former Islanders top pick, maybe second or late first round. He was in the Bo Horvat trade for the Vancouver Canucks. Getting some time with the team this year. Rossi gets it in. 2-on-1 on Jones right now, waiting for reinforcements. Shore joins him. Chisholm, Spurgeon, center. And Spurgeon gets the puck back, sends it back in the zone. This 4th line for the Minnesota Wild still out there. Jones with it. Sends it back to the line, back to Chisholm, back to Kuznetsov. Spurgeon shot, and that is going to be gloved by Lankinen. Let's see if the Minnesota Wild will get that top line back out there. Shit. What a shift. What a shift. What a game. I mean, seriously, whether it's a barn burner or like a technical game like this, when these two teams play, it's always fireworks, man. It's always just great hockey. Great stuff, great stuff. 10 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Wild win the faceoff. Faber keeps it in, but loses it. Höglander. Nils Höglander up the left side gets it to Teddy Bluger, up to Sherwood. Sherwood still has it. Nice job getting away from Middleton. But Boldy mean, Boldy's looked great tonight, especially with his checking game. All that negative talk about Freddie, he deserves apologies. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And I tried to tell him. The man was injured last year. The man was injured last year, and he wasn't, let's be honest, he wasn't being used as much as he's been used this year. And I thought people were being way too hard on him last year. Shoot, man, and in fairness, I said the same thing about Johansson. Freddie Gaudreau's playing better than Johansson this year. Way better. Well, I mean, playing better maybe is unfair to Johansson, but he's producing more. I don't think Johansson's playing poorly, but Freddie Gaudreau's playing awesome. Kaprizov centers and Boldy can't get it, but Chisholm with a shot. Looking for the rebound there was Eriksson Ek. He doesn't get it, but Spurgeon with the centering pass, and that doesn't get through. Spurgeon has it. Looking for that centering pass again. Boldy has it, though, on the right side. Boldy sends it up the boards. Takes a hit from DeBrusque, and Myers gets the puck back. Myers sends it back to Jake DeBrusque. When you make as much money as him hockey from home, he could probably buy the Canucks. 8 minutes and 56 seconds on the clock. Bogosian with it, sends it in, and Trenin looking for the tip, doesn't get it. That goes up. Trenin back around Bogosian. Bogosian holds up the lines up to Trenin. Trenin tried to send it back up, and that goes off the skate of Suter, but Foligno still has it. Back to the line, back to Bogosian. Bogosian and a fluttering pass through the slot, and that almost goes to the net, but Hughes has it. Hughes skating through, weaving his way through the neutral zone. Garland looking for the forecheck, and Garland does a good job, and Gaudreau lost it to Joshua. Johansson tied him up behind, and Johansson has actually played a very good game here tonight as well. Defensively, he's picked, I think that's the third time that he's picked the pocket of a Vancouver Canucks player. Shot from the blue line. Middleton looking for the shot. I don't think that went through. Maybe Lankinen got a small piece of it. Puck back to the center. 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Rossi quickly gets it back. Springs Hartman. Hartman looking at Johansson, but just couldn't handle the puck there. Faber shot from the blue line and tipped by, Rossi. That's going to go wide, but Rossi still has it. Rossi back to the blue line. Shot from Faber. That doesn't get through. That's going to deflect. And Faber unable to separate his man from the puck, but Middleton there to help him. And the Wild send that back up the ice. Vancouver with it. And a nice pass there by Hartman. Was springing shore, but that was blocked. Who's Nadinov with it? Down the wall, fires, and that's going to deflect off Lankinen. Chisholm with it. Center. Puck trickles across the ice. Spurgeon on the loose puck, sends it up, chipped it, doesn't end up getting into the Vancouver zone, but chips over the line. And Jones is taken down, and that's going to be a penalty on Carson Soucy, the former Minnesota Wild player, the Tsunami, as only my friend Shane would call him, but I think it's an awesome nickname. He's going to take the penalty here, and the Minnesota Wild are going to go on the power play. All right, I have not been impressed with the power play at all this season. So let's see what they do. Let's see if they roll Spurgeon out there. Maybe they roll Middleton out there, like our boy said in the live chat. That would be absolutely crazy. All right, guys, good vibes here. Minnesota Wild need a strong power play. Yeah, where's Shane? That's a good question, Hawk from him. That's a good question. Wow. Wow. Like I said, he could probably buy the team. Anyone who lives in Vancouver, Hawk from home. You can't live in Vancouver and not make a lot of money. Ron saying a shootout. I'm locking it in. I predicted a 5-4 Vancouver victory just based off how the last game went, or that crazy barn burner they had. I was like, okay, we're not going to see, how was it, like 4 guys in that, it was 4 players, 2 from each team, I believe, getting hat tricks. I was like, I don't think we're going to see that. But okay, 5 goals from one team, 4 for another. I could see that. Nope, this might be a tight one, Ron. You won tickets, Hockey from Home. Congratulations. Let's go. The Tsunami. What do you guys think? Carson Soucy, the Tsunami, especially with him playing on the West Coast now. I like that moniker. Mr. Brightside, by the way, by the Killers. A staple at hockey rinks now. It's one of those that now that I've highlighted it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, and you're going to notice it every single time. All right, 6 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. The Minnesota Wild sending it to Kaprizov in front. He doesn't get it. Boldy, though, with it back to the blue line. Spurgeon to Rossi, back to Spurgeon. Okay, I like this. Spurgeon to Boldy. Boldy. Eriksson Ek back to Boldy. Spurgeon. Rossi. Kaprizov, Rossi tried to send her to Kaprizov, and that's going to go up and in the netting and out of play. When's the game, Hawk from Home? When's the game? Ooh, I don't think I'll be home in April. But that is awesome. You won tickets. Thanks for the invite. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Teddy Bluger taking the face-off for the Wild. For the Vancouver Canucks. And the Wild win the face-off, and a shot from Spurgeon. Wide, Kaprizov gets it to Rossi. Rossi to Spurgeon. Back to Rossi. Rossi tried to center, but that deflected. Kaprizov tried to center for Ek. And that's going to go back to the netminder. Damn. Yeah, the Minnesota, that's actually pretty good. This is actually a pretty good stat. It's showing, how well the Wild have done against Morrissey, Dahlin, and Roman Josi. Other really good offensive defensemen, much like Quinn Hughes, although Quinn Hughes is way better than all of them. 5 minutes and 46 seconds remain in the period. 1 minute and 12 seconds on the clock. Sorry, 5:46 on the clock. 1 minute and 12 seconds on the power play. Still in the Vancouver zone. Pettersson taking the face-off. And Pettersson beats Rossi in the face-off. Myers ringing it around the boards. But Spurgeon able to hold. But then cleared by Pettersson. Halfway through the power play. Spurgeon leaves it for Boldy. Boldy up center. Boldy right side to Eriksson Ek, and that's going to be offside. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
It's just so hard to watch, man. It's like I would rather see nails on a chalkboard than watch this freaking power play.
Emotional damage.
It's been choppy. Though. At least they've been able to keep this first unit out there. Oh, Ek and Desharnais going at it here. 49 seconds left. And Myers and Boldy. All right, X taking the face off. Things are getting a little heated here, guys. Indeed, as Ryan Carter says, and the Wild win the face-off. Boldy with it. Keeps it in the zone. Oh! Big hit by Eriksson Ek. Just lays out Sherwood. And a shot by Boldy. Bro, Eriksson Ek just laid out Kiefer Sherwood. Laid him the fuck out. Holy shit. And Eriksson Ek with it on the right side. Eriksson Ek with a shot and a save by Lankinen. Eriksson Ek, he's getting frustrated and took it out on Sherwood. Oh! He got crushed. Ouch. Final 5 seconds on the power play, and the Vancouver Canucks send it down the ice. That will do it. That'll do it for the power play. Back to 5-on-5. 4.5 minutes. Boom. And Freddie Gaudreau with it. Freddie Gaudreau, our Lord and Savior. Freddie Gaudreau to Faber. 4:20 to Gaudreau. Gaudreau sends it back. Deep in the zone. Middleton with it. Hartman. Back to the line, Faber. Tried to go back to Hartman, but lost it. Vancouver trying to get it out. Vancouver with it. Out to center ice. Pedersen. But Johansson again, dude, that's the 4th time Johansson has picked the pocket of his opponent. Johansson has had a tremendous game defensively here tonight. Minnesota losing that neutral zone battle, and the Canucks with it. Garland in the Vancouver zone. Garland tried to find his man, loses it. Quinn Hughes can't hold the line, and he's going to be forced to reset. Quinn Hughes with a shot. Tried to get a tip into the Wild zone, but the Wild get it back. Send it back into the Vancouver zone. Hughes to Myers. Myers is going to dump it. Faber, Suter. Tangle up, and who's Nadinov? Sends it. Tried to tip his man at center, but that's going to go the length of the ice, and we're going to have an icing call. Ogren called up. JoJo decides to play. There you go. There you go. Hey, if that's what it takes sometimes. That's what it takes sometimes. Two minutes and 58 seconds. Wild win the faceoff again. Man, they've been crushing it with the faceoffs here tonight, especially this period. Yeah, 53% now, 15-9. Boom! The Vancouver Canucks have not won a faceoff since we went over the stats earlier this period. 2 minutes and 38 seconds. Who's Nadinov off the boards, and Heinen gets it back and chips it down into the Wild zone. Chisholm lost it to Heinen. Hoglander with it for the Vancouver Canucks, and a nice glove save by Gustafsson. What a play by Nils Hoglander. Oh my goodness, Nils Hoglander. What an opportunity. Weaving in close quarters past two guys. Unbelievable glove save by the Gus Bus, ladies and gentlemen. Holy. I'm just writing that down. Oh my God. That is a key takeaway. Wow. Unbelievable. And Nils Hoglander, he's a young player that I've always liked. Actually getting a little bit more time this year for the Vancouver Canucks. Only 5 points on the season thus far. Last year had 36. That was a career high. Yeah, only 5 this year thus far. Not having the best season, but he's 23. And that was a nice play there. What's up, Swerve? Fuck, I hate games like this. This has been such a fun game. I I didn't think it was going to be this low scoring though, based on last year. So that's why my prediction was a 5-4 for the Vancouver Canucks. I didn't specify overtime or not, but very well could be. I'm not sure. Hockey from home. How are you doing tonight, Swerve? Again, hockey from home. I don't know. You think I have money to go to a Canucks game? Come on. Enough to know where these sections are? Come on, hockey from home. Come on. Guys, vote in the poll question, by the way. Do we see overtime? 64% of you say yes. And smash that like button. We're trying to get to 20 likes on the stream. Caps and Sharks is low scoring as well. Interesting. And you have free tickets? Thank you, Hockey from Home. Kevin Lankin, 1.8 goals against average on the road. See, Canucks Clay. He's just making money off everybody. Two minutes and 23 seconds. Face off to the left of Gustafsson. And Nadinov kicks it to the boards, and Sherwood gets it for Vancouver. Hughes keeps it in, holding the line in a pass to Höglander, and a nice job by Minnesota for getting the back. Bogosian with it. Bogosian, nice pass to Nadinov. Nadinov ups to Jones. Jones slams into the wall by Sherwood. Vancouver with it. Merrill, good job taking his man, burying him in the corner. But Hughes with it. Hughes weaving and waving. Hughes escapes Shore. Nice shot. No one gets the rebound, but Myers has it at the blue line. Vancouver fighting for it behind the net. Teddy Bluger comes out with it. Bluger tried to send it across, and puck's going to go out to center ice, and Wild trying to get a change, but Quinn Hughes brings that puck right back into the Minnesota zone. Hughes tries to send it out front, doesn't get it. Puck goes into the corner, and Boldy's going to pick that up. Boldy got it outside the zone, but Vancouver took it back. Brock Besser, in particular, Besser back to Pettersson. Pettersson tried to center versus shoot it. Merrill had DeBrus tied up, was unable to get it, but Soucy with it, shot. Nice save by Gustafsson. Soucy with it again, up the left side, back to Soucy. Soucy with a shot right in front of the net. And Pettersson, front of the net, rebound, and DeBrusque is going to get it, ladies and gentlemen. Barred down by the looks of it, and the Vancouver Canucks are up again 2-1. Jake DeBrusque was unable to score early. Gustafsson robs him here. And this puck didn't get through. Pettersson tried to backhand it out front, and DeBrusque there to pick up the garbage, ladies and gentlemen. Bogosian tried to get it. Pettersson got to it first, and DeBrusque jumps on that rebound, puts away the trash. Fourth goal in the last two games for DeBrusque, coming off a 3-goal night, if I'm not mistaken, just the other night. Not yet, Max. They were unable to record yesterday, but I believe the plan is they're going to record either tomorrow or Thursday, and we're just going to post it right away. Something came up for them yesterday. Clear the net, freaking Merrill. Shit. Now the boys shall snag one or two in the third. 36 seconds left on the clock. We're going into the third period too. Don't like that. Don't like that. Kaprizov with a big hit. 15 seconds. Kaprizov behind the net. Kaprizov circles. Kaprizov back to the blue line. Back to Faber. Faber tried to feed someone out at center, but Boldy with a nice hit. And everyone's kind of falling down. There's bodies hitting each other left, right, and center, and that will do it for the second period. Oh my goodness, we have a lot to talk about. Despite the score only being 2-1, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about, and we will be bringing Seth Topol from Locked On Wild on shortly. My key takeaways, well, the PK, 1 for 2. Not bad. They look good on that second one. Freddie Gaudreau, our Lord and Savior, ladies and gentlemen. What would the Minnesota Wild do without him? First power play looked meh, to say the least. Gus Bus with some beautiful saves on Nils Höglander in particular. Unfortunately, it was a shot that didn't even reach the net. Bogosian did everything right, tried to get it. Pettersson beat him to it, and Jake DeBrusk there to clear up the garbage. Someone should have been on him. Caps and Canes ruined the parlay. Damn, I'm sorry to hear. Peace. I'm out. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we're going to bring on Seth Topol to talk about everything from that second period and to tee up the third. What do the Minnesota Wild have to do to be successful against this Vancouver Canucks, a team where it looks like the Minnesota Wild are doing everything right, but just can't capitalize on their opportunities? And that was just a punch in the gut with 30 seconds left getting scored on there. So we'll talk about the second period. We'll talk about this game with Seth Topol, and we'll continue to take your comments, guys. So if you have any questions for Seth, if you want to join in the conversation, please do so in the live chat. Smash that like button, vote in the poll question. We'll check back in on the poll question shortly. Quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to talk about this game with our friend Seth Topol of Locked On Wild right after this quick break.
People like, you're making a hef now? It's like last year, I'm like, yeah, that one's called the 11th hour. It's kind of just a cheeky play on that we kind of release it later than most people towards the end of the summer. I wanted to kind of be in there in that cusp between summer and fall, and now with summers lasting longer and longer these days, I mean, we're in September and it's 80s, it's still a viable option.
Central Division team that I love to love, the Nashville Predators, of course. Back with Seth Topol of Locked On Wild here, and what a punch to the gut at the end of that period, because overall I would say it was pretty back and forth, but the Wild, dare I say, playing better hockey overall in stretches. I mean, a little bit more physical, winning more faceoffs. Freddie Gaudreau, our Lord and Savior, but late there the Canucks crawl back and they lead going into the third period. What were your takeaways from the second, Seth?
This game's getting chippy. I mean, it would not surprise me at all if we see some fists in the third period, because
Eriksson Ek hit.
Yeah, this game's getting a little intense, but you'd expect nothing less. These two teams are up near the top of their respective divisions, and this is just a tight, tense, really pretty good paced hockey game so far. Just not a lot of chances for either team there in the second. Wild had 5 shots on goal, but they took advantage of an odd man rush opportunity, and a nice feed from Marcus Foligno to Freddie Gaudreau for the goal. Get this, Isha. Freddie Gaudreau is 1 point away. 1 point away from equaling his total last year.
I mean,
After adding another goal to his tally, I think that's 5 goals for him, and he's got 14 points. Just a nice rebound season for Freddie, steady Freddie. And you talked about it, like it was a shot at the end of the period blocked by John Merrill, but Elias Pettersson just able to kind of wrestle free from John Merrill and get the puck to Jake DeBrusk, who buries it. Like, it just was a bang bang play, and John Hines
did everything right. He tried to get it. Just Pettersson got to it first, backhand rebound, and DeBrusk puts away a garbage goal after, in the first period, Gus robbing him of a goal. But I will say Gus looked tremendous. Like, he's been able to find shots through lanes that have been crowded. That save on Nils Höglander was tremendous. I know Nils Höglander has been a little snake bitten for the Vancouver Canucks, and he's been just buzzing out there tonight. You can tell he wants one. Good PK for the Minnesota Wild, looked way better than it did in the first period. Power play, meh, to say the least. Really choppy. I mean, they didn't really get anything going. And Freddie Gaudreau. I mean, I cannot say more good things about him, but I'm just going to every single game. He's looked amazing, absolutely amazing. And everybody, like Urban said in the live chat, everybody who was dogging him last year owes him an apology.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that he was battling significant injury last year that led to him not being able to do the things that we've seen him do over the last couple of years. And he's playing like a very capable third line guy that is a huge part of the reason that this team's been for the Wilds. It's I don't really feel concerned or bad or anything about how the Wild have played here tonight. It's come down to, as many of these games do, it's come down to a couple of moments that if they go the other way, you could be looking at the Wild leading 2-1 heading into the third period. And the Wild they've done a good job of scoring in the second and the third periods this year. So it's all about just going and getting that equalizer. It feels like, based off of how he's played, it feels like Joel Eriksson Ek is knocking on the door for a goal here tonight. So that'd be a good way to kind of get this back to Minnesota Wild. Get the momentum back on their side to just get a goal right off the bat here in the third to take things back into their hands and close this one out.
Yeah, well, hot takes. Bogosian has been playing with that depth rotation guy, whether it's Chisholm. Assuming that the D's healthy, it's either been Chisholm, Merrill, and then before it was Hunt, but goodbye Hunt. I don't really like it either because they're getting actually a lot of minutes back there. It seems like I'll bring it up here in a sec. But like we've seen it before, so I understand why like the coach is like, well, they're familiar with each other right now, and the lines are kind of all shuffled anyways.
Well, Vancouver's
that bad though, to be honest. It's just like Merrill hasn't had a good game. I'll say Bogosian overall hasn't had a bad game tonight though.
And Vancouver's a bigger team, so you would expect that Bogosian is going to get more time to try to match some of that.
Which is weird to say when Quinn Hughes is their best player.
Yeah. Well, that's the Rick Tocchet design. Very, very similar vein to the Bill Guerin school of roster building. Although, you look at this Wild team and they don't have a ton of those big, bulky guys. They've got a few of them, but you need those guys to get through the rigors of a regular season. And we're seeing two teams that are, I think, a little fed up with some of the things that have happened on the ice. John Hines that's as angry and animated as you're going to see him with what should maybe have been a too many men on the ice call that happened just before that Canucks goal. So he was irate is probably a good way to put it, but this is what happens. These are playoff previews, and this is what happens in these types of games is they come down to one or two moments. The Wild have been in this game. It's not like they're handling play. It's not like they're getting, it's not like they're getting their faces caved in or anything. It's a nice competitive game. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not the Wild can get the equalizer and the go-ahead goal here in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. And stay disciplined, because I don't want to see,
Yep.
though they killed off one of two power plays for the Vancouver Canucks thus far, I don't want to see it again. I don't want to see it again. Like, the Canucks are just too dangerous. They're just too dangerous.
Just continue to handle 5-on-5 play and just take advantage of those odd man rush opportunities when they arise. The Wild didn't have a ton of them, but they did capitalize on the one to get Gaudreau the goal. And just keep trying for those types of opportunities, and you can get it past Kevin Lankinen. It's just a matter of just continuing to chip away.
Did you see that Kaprizov hit right at the
end? I did.
Period. No, it was Kaprizov. It was Kaprizov, because even the commentary was like, "Oh, and Kaprizov with the big hit."
Yeah, and Boldy had one too. Like Boldy.
Okay, can I just say to you? So I have some other takeaways. Boldy, physical all game. He's looked great. Like, he's due for a goal with how good he's been playing. A guy who's not necessarily due for a goal, but like, and someone said in the live chat here, I believe it was Creepy or Urban, and if I'm wrong, let me know. Johansson. I mean, with Ogren getting called up, he's like, oh fuck, I better have a good game here. He's had four takeaways thus far. He's picked the pocket of four Vancouver Canucks players thus far, and three of them have been like skating to them, like chasing, and he's been able to catch up and get it. And one has been on the back check. And yeah, really impressive stuff defensively, despite his line really not getting anything going on the offensive side. But, thank God we got Gaudreau making up for it. No, but I have been impressed with him defensively, and just the physicality of this game overall. Like Boldy, Eriksson Ek, and you know what? Rossi's been pretty good too.
Yeah. They've been doing a good job of kind of imposing on this Vancouver team, and it's just a matter of taking advantage of one of those 50-50 opportunities their way. It does really feel like that top line's due based off of how they're playing. So if you can get a goal from that line and kind of get those guys going, then I like our chances.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were ripping on that Merrill play in the first intermission too. It was bad. It was bad. I think he's had a pretty good second period thus far. But yeah, we did not like that at all. Rossi's really turned it around. I mean, he's just getting better and better. I mean, he's 19 points on the season, 12 assists, 7 goals. I mean, third in scoring. And like, even if Zuccarello was still in the lineup, like, you'd think him and Rossi be kind of around the same, which has been great. Again, final thoughts on the second period game and what the Wild need to do to be successful here in the third, Seth.
Let's have a nice 4 minutes out right off the gate here in the third and try to get this thing tied up. And after that, it's basically just time for Kirill Kaprizov to take charge.
Poll question, by the way, Seth, and I'll get you to chime in. Do we see overtime? 53% say no, 47% say yes. So we've been going back and forth. Do we see overtime here in this tight one?
It wouldn't
2-1 going into the third.
It wouldn't surprise me. These two teams pretty evenly matched. And it's a team that has had some really good success on the road, 10-2 in Vancouver. So if we get to the latter stages and the Canucks are still hanging on to that 1-goal lead, I'd be very in favor of OT.
There you go. I mean, the Minnesota Wild, they don't lose in regulation, so they're gonna snag a point out regardless, right?
Yeah, and that's the difference between last year and this year, is that in games like this, the Wild find a way to at least get a point out of it. But I feel like the way that the Wild are playing, it wouldn't surprise me if they find a way to scratch a couple across here in the third.
All right, final question. Thoughts on LaPanta disrespecting the Western Hockey League?
Well...
This is a safe place. Get it as unfiltered as you want in front of hundreds and hundreds of people.
My thoughts, I think, are well known. Sometimes I think the broadcast tends to lean a little too in the positive. I'll never forget in the series against Dallas in the postseason a couple years ago that in the final game in which the Wild got dispatched, they had a graphic up that said the Wild did not allow a power play goal tonight. And I'm like, it's a hell of a spin. It's a hell of a spin for the final game of the season. Nicely done.
Hot take saying, really hope they don't send Juracek down to the AHL. It's such a mess down there. He might be lost forever if he goes down. I think they're going to keep him up here, but slow burn.
Yeah, he is somebody that they are going to just, they're going to give him a lot of practice time. The D right now, even with Brodin injured, they've played really solid as a group, so you don't have to make any type of a move at this point. But it's all about just getting him acclimated, giving him some stuff to work on, and letting him do his thing.
Well, the Wild do with the strong system. They got to make sure that you understand the system.
Yeah,
we don't know what you guys have been doing over there in CBJ.
And I know a lot of it is just for the cameras, but we've already seen Juracek in some of the social media stuff for the Minnesota Wild, and I like the fact that he seems really like he has a new lease on life with this Minnesota Wild team, and he says he's going to come in, he's going to work his ass off. I know a lot of that stuff is kind of camera service, but it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear for a prospect that was called a little bit of a malcontent with Columbus for wanting to go to a team that actually had structure. But it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear him come in and say all the right things.
Absolutely. Guys, go check out Seth on Locked on Wild on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts from. Daily podcast covering your Minnesota Wild, guests throughout the week, live streams, and he will be live on YouTube for the postcasts after this game. So go check him out, Locked on Wild. Thanks again, Seth. Guys, on the other side, third and final period. Quick break. We'll be back. Play-by-play commentary, reaction, interaction with all you amazing folks in the live chat. Vote in the poll question. Seth, thank you. We'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
All right, back on the other side, guys. And we are back alive here. I don't need these headphones anymore. I need these headphones, though. On the Sota Pod YouTube channel for the third period here. Vancouver Canucks taking on the Minnesota Wild, and they lead 2-1, ladies and gentlemen. That is right, 2-1. A punch in the gut, a late goal by the Canucks on the Minnesota Wild at the end of the second. Puck is about to drop here. And again, big shout out to everybody joining us. If you haven't already, vote in the poll question. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Trying to get to, what did I say? 20 likes. There you go. 20 likes on the stream. If you're new to the channel, we do live play-by-play commentary, reaction with all the amazing folks in the live chat here as we host various watch parties for your Minnesota Wild throughout the season. We also host full podcast episodes, live streams, clips from our podcast, original content, and more. So subscribe and check out the videos that we post daily on the channel, as well as highlights of Minnesota and NHL prospects, draft coverage as well. Anyways, back to the game. 19 had to get through it all. We do a lot here at the Sota Pod Network. 19:15 on the clock in this third period. Shots 18-14 for the Minnesota Wild. Vancouver creeping back up. Lord and Savior Freddie Gaudreau passes it back to the defense. Middleton as he changes. Wild changing. Eriksson Ek chips it in. Boldy with it, trying to find someone at center, and he threw it out front, and Lankinen going to save. There was 2 low-scoring games. Brock Besser's arguing that it was too many men for the Minnesota Wild. I mean, honestly, he's got a case. But I think Ryan Carter said he lifted up his foot in time to negate it. Okay. Boldy to Ek. Ek behind the net, passing back to the line, and Faber unable to hold on to it. What's up, Cobra? Middleton sent it back in. Excuse me. Yes, I just dabbed you guys up. I didn't sneeze. Centering back to Middleton. Middleton shot and scores! Middleton scores! Middleton scores! Middleton scores! There we go! There we go! Creepy colors! Creepy colors! He just needed to shoot. Grinding work along the wall, creating the chance. It didn't get to Ek, but Middleton just finds it. Oh, over his left shoulder. Over his left shoulder. Are you kidding me? Over his left shoulder. Of course it's Gaudreau. Of course it's Middleton. The unsung heroes of this season thus far, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Middleton with his 5th goal of the season. 13th point, ladies and gentlemen. 13th point. He's at a career high 25 points. He's going to pass that. And Sherwood getting involved with Middleton here. Are we going to see these guys drop the gloves? McDavid. What's up, McDavid? Honestly, don't know what I'm watching anymore. Our defense is carrying us way too much, not seeing enough from our top 6. Yet they're still winning. They're not quite playing Jack Lemaire hockey, but somehow it's working. Oh, and Sherwood came in with the big hit there. 18 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. 22 shots on net for the Wild. Still 14 for the Canucks. They tie this up 2-2. Hartman, nice cross-ice pass to Johansson. Johansson around the net. Johansson leaves it for Rossi. Got it back to Bogosian. Bogosian plays it around. Johansson with it shot. Got through, knocked down by Lankinen. Back into the corner of the boards. Rossi back to the blue line. Merrill. Bogosian. Bogosian shot. Hartman redirect, and that doesn't... Actually, that does hit the net. That goes to Lankinen. Bogosian holding the line. But Teddy Bluger gets it, sends it back into his own zone, and the Canucks are going to get a change. I guess that's what happens when a coach comes from a team that prides themselves on their decor. 16:57, and that this team really only has two guys who consistently you can lean upon for scoring, where other guys are kind of, well, not as consistent. And Kuznetsov is going to take a penalty here on Heinen. Him and Heinen get tangled up, and the Canucks still have it. Hughes with it. Hughes center. Cut off by Jones. Hughes was trying to get in center. Hughes. Myers looking for a shot. Myers was looking to get a tip set up. Hughes. Shot fires blocked by Shore. Rebound by Garland. Doesn't get it. Nice save by Gustafson. 16-13 on the clock. Hughes fires. Garland back to Hughes. Myers. Back to Hughes. This is a delayed call, guys. And that shot doesn't get through. Chisholm gets it. And Huznadinov is taking the penalty. Not good, not good, not good. What a redirect there by Hartman as they show the replay. Here we go. PK back to work. Danton Heinen. Former Boston Bruin, actually. But I believe a Vancouver boy is actually playing back home. Third chance for the Canucks here. 1 for 2. And Hughes, man, weaving and just finding open ice. Back to Garland. Back to Hughes at the blue line. Hughes, Pettersson, Besser. Gustafson denies DeBrusk with the rebound. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
DeBrusk, man. Good in front of the net here. He's able to find those pucks. But Gustafson knew where that was going. Clearly, we need a pure goal scorer. I want Besser, but Canucks are hanging around currently. Third in Pacific. Who else is an option? Right now, it's tough. I'd have to go through and see. Left side, Pettersson to Hughes. Hughes in front of the net, and the Wild, they're going to try to knock this out. And Faber, good job clearing. 15:09. Quinn Hughes. Leaves it for Besser. Or Garland, sorry. Foligno got a piece of that, and Merrill tried to get to Bogosian. Goudreau with it. Goudreau sends it the length of the ice. Refs must have money on Vancouver. Yeah, I don't think so, Hockey from Home. I think he's going through some personal stuff, and people just don't know what's going on, so they're just going to say he wants to be traded. Great job by Goudreau. Hey, Goudreau's looking great on the penalty kill. Goudreau's looking great on the penalty kill. Dude, Goudreau, our Lord and Savior. What would this team do without him? Scoring and killing penalties. Unbelievable job. Canucks back in the Wild zone. Hughes fires on a save by Gustafson. And here we go. Great kill by the Wild, sending that back the length of the ice. Eriksson Ek out there as well. 5 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't think that was an egregious penalty by Huznadinov, to be honest. That was a pretty weak call. I was thinking the same thing. 13:46. Great kill. Faber up the right side. Boldy under pressure, unable to hold it. Actually, I spoke too soon. He still has it. Holglander nearly took it away, but got it back to the Canucks defense. Middleton with it. What a game he's had. Kaprizov with it. Throws it across Faber. Right side. Faber leaves it for Huznadinov. Huznadinov in the circle. Huznadinov back for Chisholm. Chisholm to Boldy. Boldy moves in, sends it across. Chisholm with a shot and a nice save by Lankinen. Great kill. Freddie Goudreau, man. Freddie Goudreau. Wild finishing their change. Well, let's see if Kaprizov stays on here and leads this rush. And Kaprizov, man. What a pass. What a pass. I mean, dangerous draw pass, but he knew what he was doing. Spurgeon there to pick it up, and here we go. The Wild are going to get their change. Can't keep that puck in the offensive zone. And the Canucks coming the other way. Garland with a nice backhand. Oh no, he went forehand, and Gustin able to get the save. What a night by both goaltenders here. Pedersen with it. Back to the blue line. Susi able to hold. Back to Pedersen. Pedersen walks by Spurgeon. My goodness. Tried to send it back to Susi, and that goes down the length of the ice, and both teams are going to change. Man, Pedersen just walked by Spurgeon. He's been very good as of late. Nice hit on Pedersen. Speaking of him, Middleton, man. And Middleton picks his pocket. Middleton sends it out of the Wild zone. Brock Besser with it on the right side. Brock Besser with a shot. Nice blocker save by Gustafsson. No rebound there for the Vancouver Canucks. And Johansson with it on the right side. Johansson waiting for support here. Johansson drop pass. Drops to Bogosian. Bogosian goes for the shot. That goes wide. Merrill sends it back to Hartman. Hartman with it. Hartman walking through Desharnais. Hartman tried to center it for Johansson. Johansson sends it back around, but he gets tangled up by Besser, forcing this puck to go down to the Wild zone, and they're going to have to reset. Foligno offside. Hey, what's up, Boog? Good to see you, Boog. How you doing? Appreciate you for hanging out. All right. We go to a TV timeout here. 10 minutes and 55 seconds on the clock. Let's see. So tonight, Boldy was 16 minutes. Eck was 17. Goudreau with only 9. He's looked so good on the PK. Has a goal. Only 9 minutes. Kaprizov only 15 minutes because he hasn't been playing power or penalty kill. Marco Rossi only 12 minutes tonight. Defense. I mean, Chisholm's been playing a lot, man. 16 minutes for Chisholm. Faber, 18 minutes. Middleton, 19. Man, Middleton's been awesome tonight. What a game we're having. This has been a good game, man. This has been a really good game. Go Wild. Can't wait for this team to be healthy again. Yeah. I mean, Brodin will make just a world of difference, right? I mean, obviously Zuccarello is going to as well. For Vancouver fans watching, Zuccarello's injury is his nutsack. Like a ruptured testicle, right? Or a bruise. I guess it wasn't ruptured, but a bruised testicle at the very least. Nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. All right, as we come back from TV timeout here, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at some of these other stats. Again, 24 shots to the Wild. Vancouver trailing only by 2 now. Closest margin so far. Only 1 power play goal for the Vancouver Canucks. Wild have been able to kill 2 out of 3 power plays. Here it is, though. 7 takeaways from the Minnesota Wild. But they've been giving up the puck. And Vancouver coming away. Oh, I didn't realize Vancouver coming away with the faceoff wins now late here. They've come back because at one point late in the second period, the Wild were up by quite a bit. So Wild have been very good in the faceoff tonight thus far, but Vancouver looking good here in the third. Faber. No, oh yeah, with the shot. This shows how hard Faber shoots. Brodin back issue seeming like it's pretty serious. Well, they said day to day actually. Russo said he was more confident that he'll come back like pretty soon than Zuccarello. Oh, it was ruptured? Okay. My bad. That's terrible. 10 minutes on the clock. Garland trying to pressure his way to the net. That is just horrendous. I couldn't imagine. Ugh. 9 minutes, 56 seconds. Okay, we're good. Just checking. 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Canucks have it. Susi behind Höglander, and that's going to be icing against the Canucks. The tsunami. Dude, I'm just so pumped that Middleton's just had another hell of a game. There's just so many guys that didn't play well last year who are just absolutely having redeeming seasons. And, Middleton and Freddie Gaudreau in particular. Then there's obviously Gus Bus. Wild win the faceoff. Wild at center to Hartman, left side. Rossi driving the net. Hartman tied up there. Good job by Soucy. Soucy's actually been having a good game for the Canucks here tonight. I mean, other than that penalty that he took. Carson Soucy sends it up the left side, but unable to get anything going, and Johansson with it. Johansson, right hand, right up the right side. They lose it. Canucks get it, send it, and they were able to tip it, actually, so they're going to avoid the icing there. Gustafson plays it, sends it around to Merrill, and Boldy sends it across ice, but Kaprizov is well offside. Jets are a mess. They were on a run recently. I guess they haven't been doing. Have they not been doing good as of late, or just tonight? Ooh, Blues up 2-0 on them. Oh yeah, damn. The Jets have not been playing good as of late. I mean, that's just how crazy this league is, man. It's just how crazy this league is. You can start off so hot, and then just Lightning, Panthers, Predators, Kings, Knights, Stars, now Blues. Yeah, shit. This has not been a good recent run for the Jets. Thankfully, yeah. They're falling off fast and hard. Well, knock on wood, that doesn't happen to Minnesota, but so far so good against Vancouver Canucks. Avs down to the Sabres too. I mean, how much? I mean, we obviously know how much does it benefit the Wild that like the Avs, Nashville, and the Winnipeg Jets right now, not the best teams. I mean, Winnipeg was, and they very well could bounce back, but still. Nashville might have dug themselves too much of a hole. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out. Barbershop window. This team plays super hard against the Oilers and play like shit against the Canucks. I don't think they're playing like shit. And the Canucks are probably as good as the Oilers right now, I would say. Like, as dangerous, anyways. All right, coming back from TV timeout. Their last good game was against us, of course. Nashville just needs a 5-game win streak and everything changes. Oh my God, the Avs actually came back and won 5-4. I mean, you can say the same thing about the Avs too, right, Urban? But I think the Wild have set themselves up with a good enough lead. I mean, it's almost going to take actual tanking, Buffalo Sabres to try to get McDavid style, trading Neuver when he's actually like winning games to be able to get out of playoff contention. 8 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock. We're back at it, and the Minnesota Wild have it in the Vancouver zone. Faber sends it around, and ooh, that hits. Who does that hit? Hits Eriksson Ek. I thought the puck hit him. Okay, never mind. He was losing the battle with his man. He doesn't look too good as he was slow to get to the bench. 8 minutes and 5 seconds. I thought he blocked the shot. The Wild are a wild card team. Can't beat the Canucks. Don't think they're a wild card team, but definitely Canucks giving them a run for their money here and making this a really good game. And whenever these teams play each other, whether it's high scoring or low scoring, always great hockey, man. Quinn Hughes, best defenseman in the league, not even close. I don't want to hear this Cale Makar crap It's Quinn Hughes. The Avs don't have a goalie to make that change happen. Nashville does. True. I mean, just saying, goalies can get hot, right? It's, but true. McKinnon's gonna have to outscore everybody single-handedly. Screw Cale Makar. Nate Dogg and Cale can score their way out of anything. 7 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock. Johansson tried to pass up center, but Garland picks the pocket. Nice job by Garland. Garland still has it. Garland tries to set up someone at center and doesn't get that puck through. And the Wild are going to get it. Wild up center, Wild left side. Unable to keep that, and the Vancouver Canucks are going to come right back through center. Garland up the right side. Fighting forward in the corner. Minnesota gets it back. Can't get it out of the zone, and Myers is going to keep this in. Teddy Bluger with a shot. That's going to deflect wide. Hughes now in the corner. Hughes on the boards. Hughes leaving it for Garland. Garland back to Hughes. Hughes to Myers. Myers with a shot. That goes through, and a nice save by Gustafsson. 6 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock. Vote in the poll question, guys. Are we going to overtime? 53% of you say no. 47% of you say yes. 6 minutes left. 6 minutes left. 53% of you think there's going to be a goal scored in the final 6 minutes. Yo, Minnesota Wild take their Star Wars night fucking seriously, bro. Boba Fett flurry was dope. I have the Kaprizov Jedi. Now they got a full-on fucking jersey. Holy shit. What is this? ECHL? I love it. No, 6 minutes left to give the Canucks a point. Hey, the Wild aren't stupid ass. Barbershop's clearly a Canucks fan. I'm from Vancouver too, by the way. I'm trying to be not biased here. I did predict the Canucks to win 5-4, but this is not a high-scoring game. But Barbershop's just trolling, man, because if he actually has been following this season, like the Wild, surprisingly, in my opinion, have been having a tremendous year. Wild unable to get a shot off. 6 minutes and 16 seconds. What's up, Toll Freak? How's your week going, buddy? 6 minutes. Bogosian sends it up the wall. Foligno tied up. It's fourth line by the Canucks. Good job, actually, winning that battle. Canucks come up the right side. Ref against us. The only weak call, I think, was the Kuzadinov one. Everything else is in there. Bogosian tangled up behind the play, and Sanson comes back up left side for Vancouver. And, Middleton staples him up against the wall, bro. What are these hits tonight by both these teams? Damn. Bro, Middleton's been throwing the body around. X been throwing the body around. Fucking Sherwood's been throwing the body around. And Foligno with another big hit. Huge hit on Brandstrom. Jeez, 5 minutes on the clock. And the Wild literally laying out these Canucks players, dude. Half the line was laid the fuck out. That is crazy. Vancouver attacking again and looking for a hip check there was Middleton. Faber sends it up to Kaprizov. Kaprizov on the left side. Kaprizov down the wall. Kaprizov shot. And a nice save by Lankinen. What a shift, bro. So look at this shot by Middleton. Boom! On Sasson. Fuck, and then there's another big hit right after. Holy crap. All right, we're going to our last TV timeout, assuming we don't have overtime. Let's check in on the poll question again. Do we see overtime? Do we see overtime? 55% of you say no. 45% of you say yes. Canucks shootout win, I can feel. If this does go to a shootout, honestly, even OT, if this goes to OT or shootout, I think the Canucks are going to win. Quinn Hughes is too good in OT. God, and shootout. Well, I mean, Freddie Gaudreau could carry us in a shootout, though. I'm just saying. He is our Lord and Savior. But no, in shootout or overtime, I'm giving the edge to the Canucks. Hey, Minnesota comes out of this one with 1 point. They can't lose. They can't lose in regulation. Vancouver only makes the playoffs once every 10 years. They got 9 more years until then. There you go. There you go. Bro, I escaped that city when they were burning themselves to the ground, dude. I was there, man. I was there in the beginning anyways. I was able to get out of the downtown core before the military came in. That shit was wild, dude. Not weird. Wild. All right. This is what it's all about. Tie game 2-2. And it's been the secondary scores for the Wild here tonight, right? This is where Kaprizov is going to get his goal, right? This is where Kaprizov is going to get his goal. Or on the Vancouver Canucks side of things, this is where Pettersson gets that big goal. We shall see. We shall see. They're making it this year, but they won't win the Cup this year. I don't think the Canucks or the Wild will win the Cup this year, but I think they both make the playoffs. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 18 minutes and 29 seconds for Eriksson Ek here tonight. Sheesh.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
All right, 4:39 left. Face off to the right of Lankinen, and the Canucks are going to win the face off. That playoff series is the most memorable one to me. That one was awesome. Oh, a nice hit by Ek. What did Wes Wells call Ed Jovanovski? Special Ed. 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. As long as the Canadian team doesn't win the Cup, I'm fine. Dude, I am Canadian, and I'm going to tell you, it's funny. Like, Americans care about that. Canadians don't care if a Canadian team wins or loses. They have their team, and they're just like, motherfuck all the other teams. Like, I could care less if a Canadian team wins, but, like, I'm from Vancouver, right? I live in Minnesota now and obviously help operations here at the Sota Pod, so cover the Minnesota Wild more, but fuck I would rather an American team win over Toronto all day, every day. And a nice opportunity there. Speaking of Pettersson, they're on the ice. So these teams won't see each other again until March, right? They play March and then April. Maybe an American team, but all Canadian players. No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, like, not even just in the States, but just outside of Canada are like, are you upset that a Canadian team hasn't won since 93, this, that? I'm like, I don't care, dude. There's a few Canadian teams that I'll root for, like, secondary, but, like, I did not want the Edmonton Oilers to win last year. I was rooting for Canada's team, the Florida Panthers. That's why I stand Maple Grove boy, Brock Faber. Let's go. Shout out to Brock Faber. Dude, I have Brock Faber PSA grade 9 rookie card and portrait card, both graded 9. I don't know if you guys are into hockey cards. I'm not super into it, but I traded a Matthew Tkachuk card for Besser, and at one point I was scared it was going to lose all its values. He may be no Matthew Tkachuk, but it's pretty good. Anyways, tied up in front of the net there. Sherwood able to get the puck back in a shot there. Doesn't get through. Faber blocked that shot attempt. 3 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock. Wild now. Their turn. Faber sends that puck in. Foligno to Trennan. Faber at the line. Back in the zone. Gaudreau with a shot, and that's going to go wide. Middleton holds the line. Good job by Trennan keeping that puck in, but that bounces off the skate of a Canucks player, and Sherwood sends that puck back in. Faber with it. Back to Middleton. And these teams are going to get a change. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Gus is standing on his head as always. Dude, it's truly incredible. 2 minutes, 34 seconds, fighting in the corner here. Puck trickles out, and Vancouver's going to get it. Vancouver tries to spring Garland, and They end up getting it. But 1 man on 4 here in the Wild. They're going to reset. 29 shots. So he's had a great game. And it's crazy. Vancouver Canucks have actually come back to lead in shots here late. The Wild have led up until this point the whole game in shots. 2 minutes on the clock. And Spurgeon was looking for a shot there. And we're going to get a face-off to the left of Lankinen. Yeah, a little toe drag there, but goaltender read that. Man, I hope he wins the Vezina. He deserves it. If the season ended right now, he has been the best goaltender in the league. Two minutes. Huge face-off here for Eriksson Ek. Again, big shout out to Wild fans, Canucks fans alike in the chat here. This one's a fun one for me because I'm from British Columbia. Grew up on Vancouver Island and Prince George. I bleed blue and green. I'm trying to be unbiased here. Been living out in Minnesota for a few years now. I am manager of operations here at the Sota Pod, so I covered the Minnesota Wild team more these days, but this has been a fun one to see the team that I cover in the Wild against, Z's Boston's, Hoppy's Pittsburgh's, my Canucks. So this has been a great one, guys. Thank you all for joining. Boldy gaining the line. Boldy with a shot. And that hits a skate, doesn't get to the net. All good hockey from home. Good to see you. Canucks with numbers coming back. Besser checked. Lost it to Kaprizov, but got it back. Throws it off the stick of Gustafsson. And Myers has it at center ice. Hometown dumpster fires versus the Wild. Love it. Peace. I'm out. 1 minute, 30 seconds. See you later, hockey. Kaprizov to Ek. Ek brings it in. Shot by Hartman off the pad of Lankinen. And Suter to Garland. Garland up the right side. Spurgeon finishing his check. Even Spurgeon's playing physical here tonight. Hughes hit by Hartman, but not knocked off the puck. Hughes with a shot. Fires, got through. Saved by Gustafsson and batted. And scooped up by Rossi here now. Rossi up the right side. Canucks get the puck back, and that's going to be icing. Really? Yeah, I was right outside that center line. Why did you move? BC is kind of asshole now. Why did I move? Oh, because Sota Pod Operations was here. Wasn't working with the company that I was with last time and managed. I was 29. Figured, before 30, let's do one last, flipping of the page and adventure while I'm young and new experience. I'm half American too. Mother's American, dad's Canadian citizen. So dual citizen. And yeah, it's been good. I really like it here. 42 seconds on the clock. Looks like we're going to see overtime, guys. Middleton sends it in. What's up, D? 34 seconds. Canucks have it. Right side, breaking out. Susi, tipped in by Höglander. 22 seconds. Faber is with it. Faber tries to send up the left side. Ten seconds. And we're going to have a whistle. Vancouver's going to get the offensive zone face-off as we're going to have a icing here for the Canucks. We're icing on the Wild anyways. Rossi taking the face-off up against Pettersson again. 10 seconds, guys. Rossi wins it. Back to Faber. Up to Trennan. Deflects it ahead. 4 seconds. And we're going to overtime. We are going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Overtime against Quinn Hughes is dangerous. Overtime against Quinn Hughes is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. All right, 51% of you said no. All right, we're going to get a new poll question up, guys. We got overtime at the X. We got overtime in St. Paul. At least the Minnesota Wild are come out of this with a point. They cannot lose. In regulation. It's crazy. All right, who wins the game, ladies and gentlemen? Canucks or Wild? Again, I'm going to be honest. Quinn Hughes in overtime is the most terrifying thing, I feel like, if you're an opposing hockey player. So I'm going to say the Vancouver Canucks, but the Gus Bus, if Gus Bus and Freddie Gaudreau are out there, they can do no wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Or maybe this is where Kaprizov gets his goal tonight. Poll question is out. Vote in the poll question, guys. Sasson is wild. Oh, man. Smash that like button. Van is a better V3 group, yep. I'm just happy the Canucks were able to squeeze a point out of the best team in the league. Wow, let's go, bud. What's up, Dan? Good to see you, buddy. Come on, boys. Big shout to everybody who's watching right now on YouTube. Smash that like button, subscribe. We do watch parties, guys, multiple times a month. I'll get the rest of the schedule out. We do live podcasts. We have full episodes of our podcast drop tomorrow. Fellowship of the Rink with athletic writer Joe Smith. That one will be up tomorrow. And we have clips of our podcast and like 2 to 3 videos that drop on the channel every single day, guys. Let's see some dangles. Cap snipe coming in. I can feel it. Kirill has this. D says Wild. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Overtime starting now. X out there. Faber, Kaprizov. So Wild are 2-4 in OT this season. Canucks 3-3. Love hearing the Wild being referred to as the best team in the league. Hell yeah, bud. Wild get this win. Let's go. All right, here we go. Canucks start out with it. Quinn Hughes. Back to Pettersson. Pettersson on the right side. Pettersson back to Hughes. Hughes can't find his entry. Hughes, Pettersson, and a nice job by Kaprizov. Kaprizov springs. Eriksson Ek on the breakaway. Eriksson Ek denied by Lankinen. And then he lost his stick, and now the Canucks have it 2-on-2, though, on the other side. Great job by Eriksson Ek getting a stick on it and getting it back to Faber. Faber springs Kaprizov. Kaprizov and Ek, 2-on-2. Faber to Ek, down low. Kaprizov fanned on it. He got away with a tripping call. DeBrusque, Hughes. Back to Garland. Shot. Sent it wide. Three minutes and 51 seconds. Canucks still have it. Shot. Suter the shot up and over the top of the goal. And the Wild, are they able to get a change? Kaprizov is able to change. 3 minutes and 36. Susi to Garland. Back to Suter. Suter left side. Try to hit Garland. Garland has it behind the net. Faber's still out there for Minnesota, by the way, guys. Boldy and Rossi out there on front, but Faber's still out there. 2 minutes. And the Canucks circle back. Can Faber get off the ice? Faber's still out there, guys. I hate 3-on-3. Dan, I'll get your comments here after the game. Brandstrom has it for the Canucks. Oh, what a shot! to Besser, back to Brandstrom. Huge shave by Gustafson. Rossi, Boldy. Rossi tried to center Boldy, and he can't get it. And Canucks race back. Faber finally able to get a change. Absolutely. Spurgeon on the ice defensively for Minnesota. Boldy circles back to center. Spurgeon to Johansson. Johansson looking for Boldy. He finds him at center. Boldy, can he find the shot? He can't find that shot, so he turns around. Pettersson, and Boldy's going to send it to Gustafson as Minnesota goes for a change. Spurgeon, Kaprizov can't get the tip. Johansson with it. Johansson behind his own net. Johansson, center. Faber back on the ice. Johansson goes back to center. 1 minute and 43 seconds on the clock. One more year. But this is a different suitor. Kaprizov back to Faber. Kaprizov resetting back at center. 1 minute and 21 seconds on the clock. What's up, Jay Knight? Rossi racing in on the right side. Rossi behind the net. Rossi trying to find somebody here. Rossi still with it, turning back. Forehand. Rossi leaving it to Spurgeon. Shot. Saved by Lankinen. 1 minute remains in OT. Garland to Quinn Hughes. Hughes. Back to Garland. Garland weaving, and a nice save by Gustafson. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Kaprizov to Rossi. Rossi off of his skate, and the Canucks breakaway 2-1. Oh, and off the post. Besser off the post. Besser off the post. Rossi to Kaprizov. Kaprizov shot, score. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? 3-on-3 is insane. 3-on-3 is insane. Are you kidding me, bro? 3-on-3 is insane. 3-on-3 is insane. 2 on goalie, and Brock Besser rings it off the post. Puck goes the other way, and it's a win for the Minnesota Wild. And of course, it's Kirill Kaprizov. Of course, it's Kirill Kaprizov. Of course, it was Kirill Kaprizov. Wow. That is how 3-on-3 is to be played. Good night, Canucks heads. Wow. That is crazy. Kirill Kaprizov with his 16th goal of the season. 39 points in 24 games. Just barely. Just barely. Yeah, I don't dig the 3-on-3 really, but I guess they got the results they wanted with a quick end to it usually. That was nuts. That was nuts. Man, that's going to be nice when that money finally comes off the books. Holy buckets, it's been a long time. But then the money's going to go right to paying $15 million to Kaprizov, baby. Let's go. My reverse psychology on the poll worked. 38 points. Wild first place is crazy. 38 points for the Wild. 39 points for Kirill Kaprizov. We'll take it. Is he a Hart Trophy candidate? I think so. I think so, Scott. And by the way, Scott, it's good to see you again, buddy. Dude, how can he not be? 39 points in 23 games. Keith Smelly knocks out of town. Jets are cooked, so probably going to stay. That really happened, right? Kirill for the win. The Wild have to fix the powerless play and penalty kill no matter what. Agreed, Swerve. Agreed. Oh, yeah, let's go, bud. He missed it once. He wasn't going to miss it twice. Yeah, buddy. Kirill and McDavid are tied as favorites of the Hart as of 3 days ago. Jets lost again.
That shit beautiful than a motherfucking.
All right, Dan, sorry, you had questions here. One sec. How are you feeling about this trade the Wild just made? Kid has a hell of a shot, huh? Yes, dude, it's a good trade. And yeah, did the Wild overpay a little bit? Sure. But they had the draft capital as well as, Hunt, the main piece to do it. And the Wild have a lot of prospects who, likely will never make the team just due to, like, in Hunt's case, Zeev Williams coming in, right? But he is, like, NHL ready. So I think this was actually a really good trade for the Wild, and I think they're going to keep him up with the team, give him a lot of practice time, as Seth Topal said, I think in the first or second intermission, and get him acclimated to the system. And he's still so young, 21 years of age, and I mean, former 6th overall pick, man. He's very, very good. I don't think he's going to get a lot of ice time just yet, but I think it's going to be a slow burn as the season goes, unless he hits the ground running. But he is good, man. He is good. Like, I liked Damon Hunt, don't get me wrong. I thought Damon Hunt was NHL ready. And again, I think that the Wild may have overpaid a pick or two. But he's good. And I think he's here to stay in the lineup. He'll probably be in that rotation with Chisholm and Merrill, and that's okay to start. But if he separates himself from those two, which, knock on wood he does, then yeah, it's going to be it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Well, that was fun, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fun. Freddie Gaudreau looked great on the PK in the third period, and the Minnesota Wild they just can't stop winning. The Minnesota Wild just cannot stop winning, ladies and gentlemen. The Vancouver Canucks led twice in this game. Wild came back both times. First 2 goals by, Freddie Gaudreau, and not that top 6 as well, right? Let's just go over the box score here. Let's just go over the first game here. I mean, obviously Vancouver scoring the first goal of the game. I think overall, Jake DeBrusk had a really good game for the Vancouver Canucks. Quinn Hughes looked awesome. That first goal was nasty. Pettersson looked pretty good overall. And the Wild just getting super physical late too. I mean, the Vancouver Canucks, they got some big bodies there. Dakota Joshua, obviously Tyler Myers, but the Wild definitely won in the physical department for sure. But with Freddie Gaudreau with one of the goals there for the Wild. Jake Middleton, of course, with the other one getting his, 5th? Yeah, Freddie Gaudreau and Middleton both getting their 5th goals of the year was cool to see. So again, Middleton, Gaudreau get the first 2. Top 6 can't get anything going. Boldy throwing the body around and playing really good defensively. Johansson playing good defensively. Kaprizov, honestly, like he was fine, but the Canucks were doing a good job of shutting him down. A lot of PK time, right? The Minnesota Wild were on the penalty kill 3 times this game. We were able to kill off 2 of them. And Kaprizov, of course, in overtime, right at the end of overtime, gets it done. I mean, the Vancouver Canucks had that one. That was 2 on goalie, and Brock Besser, in his home state, rings it off the post, goes back the other end, and good night, Jim Kite, as they say. Eki is such a beauty. What's up, Karen? Good to see you. Good to see you. God, this team is so good. I don't see it being enough for Columbus right now. That pick stands at 32. Probably won't stay that way, though. He's a perfect BOGO replacement. Winnipeg and Wild games are always fun, man. Winnipeg comes down by the bus full. That they do. Maybe he can rack up some power play goals. We'll see. Got to get Yuri in next game. Yes. No to Besser in free agency. What was Gus's save percentage? Coming into the game, it was 92.3, I believe. Let me see. I'll look at it after the game as well. Coming into the game, it was 92.9. Sorry, 92.9. And in this game, the save percentage was 90. Yeah, it was 90 in this one. Right on, man. Billy G must be seeing something he likes, so I trust the judgment for sure. We're lucky to have Billy G running the show. Just lost 2, which is nice. Absolutely.
Exactly that.
Middleton clowning dude for throwing his head back was hilarious. He's been one of my favorites, dude. Jakey's awesome. It's been all about the goaltending so far for the Wild too, man. What a difference he's been this year. I mean, he's been playing even better than his first year, playing out of his mind. 938 for the games. Tonight was 938. Hold on. ESPN. Oh, wait, maybe mine's not done. Hold on. Oh, no, you're right. 938. My bad. For some reason. No, you're right. For some reason, my ESPN boxer was stuck with like 10 minutes left in the game. Yes, 938 save percentage. Thank you. Boldy has some serious upside, man. I cannot wait until he really breaks out. He's going to be a star. Well, I mean, yes, agreed. But guys, like, he's already a star. Like, he's already a 30-goal scorer in the National Hockey League. You know what I mean? And people are saying we haven't seen him break out yet, which I agree. But how crazy is that? Like, it's almost like people are upset that Boldy isn't a 40 or 50 goal scorer. It's absolutely insane. Like, he's so good. He's only 23 years of age. Extra solid player every night, man. Gotta love the way he plays. Yes. No, this was a tough one, man, against one of the best teams in the Pacific, one of the other good teams in the West. Vancouver comes out with a point in St. Paul, but the Wild get this one done. Guys, smash that like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. We'll do more live watch parties in December. But by the end of the week, I will have the rest of the month's streams up. We'll probably have another 4 streams this month, 4 or 5 streams this month. Every day we post full podcast episodes. Mondays and Wednesdays we do streams. This week we aren't because we're all busy, but typically, Mondays and Wednesdays, we do streams on the channel in addition to watch parties. We post 2 to 3 videos every day on the channel, clips from the podcast, original content, and more. So don't forget to subscribe, guys. Gotta love it. I forget how young Boldy is. Definitely plays like a mature game. Not many mistakes. Nope. And he plays really good. Like, if he doesn't get his offense going, like tonight, plays really good physically as well. Anyways, guys, I gotta run. I had to get some things done here, and I got a big day ahead of me tomorrow as it's only Tuesday. Back soon. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications so you never miss an upload, so you never miss a live stream. And I promise you, by the end of the week, we will get the rest of December's streaming schedule up. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys. Go check out my second channel as well, the City Life Project. I'll put the link in the chat here for you guys. And thanks for voting in the poll question too tonight. So I also do these watch parties for combat sports as well. And I post beer vlogs and other videos on my second channel. So support my second channel as well, guys, as we talk a little hockey, but mostly just fights. But you guys are hockey fans. You guys like fights. I'm sure a few of you watch box. I'm sure a few of you watch kickboxing. I'm sure a few of you get up every Friday at 7:30 a.m. to watch Small Gloves, One Friday Fights Muay Thai. Yeah, Boldy's upside has no ceiling, man. Who knows how good he's going to get. Hey, thank you so much, Dan. Hey, I'll be back. Thank you, guys. Hey, we love growing our community here on the hockey side of things as well as on the city life, but appreciate you all. I'll be back streaming on that channel on the weekend, but hockey games throughout the week here on this channel. But anyways, I got to run. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. The Minnesota Wild come out with this one, some way, somehow, Gus Bus, ladies and gentlemen, and Kaprizov getting the game-winning goal. But I think the best player of the game here tonight, our Lord and Savior, Freddie Gaudreau, ladies and gentlemen. Freddie Gaudreau, our Lord and Savior. Let's freaking go. Smash that like button and subscribe, guys, and we will see you on the next one. Peace.